Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Smile and Talk. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maria. Thanks for tuning in today. We've got a really special topic, one that almost every English learner cares about: how to speak English confidently. But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Yes, confidence, that's the big one. You can know grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, but without confidence, it's like having a beautiful car with no fuel.
Exactly, so true. Confidence is what makes your English come alive. It's the difference between knowing English and using English.
I've met so many learners who actually speak great English, but they still hesitate or they're afraid of making mistakes.
Right. I think that fear of being judged or of saying something wrong is the biggest obstacle.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to talk about today. How to overcome that fear, how to build real confidence, and how to actually enjoy speaking English.
Perfect. And just to make it real, we'll also share our own stories because, believe it or not, both of us had moments when we didn't feel confident speaking another language.
Oh, absolutely. I remember my first time trying to speak Spanish while traveling in Mexico. I was terrified.
I can imagine. What happened?
Well, I walked into this little taco shop and I wanted to order something simple. I'd practiced the sentence many times, but when the waiter looked at me, my brain froze.
Oh no.
Yeah, I ended up saying half in Spanish, half in English, and just pointing at the menu. The waiter smiled and said, "Don't worry, amigo." And that actually made me relax.
See, that's a perfect example. The moment you realize most people aren't judging you, they actually appreciate your effort. That's when confidence starts to grow.
Exactly. Confidence doesn't come from perfection. It comes from courage, from trying again and again.
Yes, I had a similar experience when I was learning French. I used to get so nervous before speaking. My hands would literally shake.
Really?
Yeah, but I noticed something. The more I spoke, even if I made mistakes, the less nervous I became. Practice truly reduces fear.
That's so true. It's like going to the gym. Your confidence muscles need regular exercise.
Love that. Confidence muscles.
Seriously, the first few times you speak, it's uncomfortable. But after 10, 20, 50 times, you start to feel natural.
Yes. And the beautiful thing is, once you've built that speaking confidence in English, it often spills over into other areas of your life too.
Exactly. You start believing in yourself more, not just as an English learner, but as a communicator, a thinker, a global citizen.
That's such a good point. I think many learners underestimate how powerful speaking English confidently can be. It opens doors, not just professionally, but personally.
Yeah, like being able to make friends from other countries, share your thoughts freely, or give a presentation without panic. That's life-changing.
Totally. But let's get practical, shall we? What are some ways people can build real, lasting confidence?
Okay, first thing, mindset. Before any technique, you need the right mindset.
Yes, so many people think confidence comes after they're fluent, but no, confidence comes before fluency.
Exactly. You don't wait to feel ready, you become ready by acting.
Right, you have to allow yourself to make mistakes and learn from them. That's how growth happens.
One of my students once said, "I'll speak English when I'm perfect." And I told her, "Then you'll never speak."
That's so true. Nobody's perfect. not even native speakers.
Exactly. Even we make mistakes when speaking our own language.
Totally. So learners need to understand mistakes are not a sign of weakness. They're proof of progress.
Yes, I actually love when students make mistakes because it shows they're trying.
Same year. The worst thing you can do is stay silent. Silence kills confidence.
Oh, that's powerful. Silence kills confidence.
Yeah, we should make that the quote of the episode.
Done. So after mindset, I'd say the next big step is practice. And I mean real speaking practice, not just thinking about speaking.
Absolutely. Some learners spend hours reading and listening, but almost no time speaking.
Exactly. It's like trying to learn swimming by reading a book about it. At some point, you have to jump into the water.
Perfect analogy. And you don't even need a native speaker to practice. You can talk to yourself, describe your day, tell stories, or even read aloud.
Yes, I used to do that when learning Spanish. I'd walk around talking to myself like, okay, I'm going to the store, I need bread. How do I say that again?
That's actually so effective because it trains your brain to think in English.
Exactly. Thinking in English. That's another big confidence booster.
Yes, because the less you translate, the more natural you sound.
And when you stop translating, your brain gets faster. You don't have that pause where you're like, wait, what's that word in my language again?
Totally. It feels smoother, more automatic.
So, to summarize so far, mindset, practice, and thinking in English. Those are three huge pillars.
I agree. And another one I'd add is environment. Surround yourself with English. Music, movies, podcasts, books.
Yes, immerse yourself. Make English part of your daily life, not just a school subject.
Right. Confidence grows when English becomes familiar. The more you hear it and use it, the more comfortable you get.
Exactly. And speaking of familiarity, one trick I always suggest is shadowing.
Yes, shadowing. That's a great one.
It's simple. You listen to someone speaking English and try to repeat what they say in real time, copying their tone and rhythm.
Yes. It's like singing along with a song, but with spoken English.
Right. It helps you sound more natural and also improves pronunciation subconsciously.
Totally. And the best part is you don't have to worry about grammar when shadowing. Just focus on sound and flow.
Exactly. It builds speaking rhythm and confidence together.
You know, Mark, I think another reason people lack confidence is they compare themselves too much.
Oh, yes, that's a big one. Comparing your English to someone else's is a confidence killer.
Exactly. You're not in competition. Everyone learns differently and everyone has a unique voice.
Exactly. Yes, instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to your past self.
I love that. If you could speak one sentence last year and now you can speak five, that's progress.
Exactly. Progress, not perfection.
So, Mark, let me ask you, if someone says, I feel shy speaking English, what's one thing they can do right away to feel more confident?
Good question. I'd say start small. Don't aim for a long conversation right away. Start with greetings, short answers, simple questions.
Yes, small steps build big confidence.
Exactly. When you succeed at small things, you start believing you can handle bigger things.
I totally agree. Confidence is built like a staircase, one step at a time.
That's beautiful. And sometimes you need people who encourage you.
Yes, surround yourself with supportive people. Teachers, friends, online communities, people who make you feel safe to speak.
Right. If you're always around negative people who correct every mistake harshly, you'll never grow.
Exactly. Feedback is important, but kindness is essential.
Well said.
You know, Mark, I think one of the best exercises for speaking confidence is storytelling.
I love that idea. Why do you think it's so effective?
Because stories are natural. You're not worrying about grammar, you're just sharing experiences. It feels human.
That's true. And when you tell stories about yourself, you connect emotionally, which makes your English sound more authentic.
Exactly. Plus, stories are easy to remember, so they're great for practice.
Maybe we can each share a short story about when we lacked confidence and how we overcame it.
Great idea. You go first.
Okay, when I was in college, I had to give a presentation in front of 50 people. I was nervous, sweating, shaking, the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
But I prepared like crazy. I practiced my opening line at least 100 times. When the day came, I still felt scared, but as soon as I started, the fear began to fade.
Yes, that's the magic. Once you start, confidence grows.
Exactly. The hardest part is the beginning. Once you speak that first sentence, you realize, hey, I can do this.
Totally. My story is similar. When I moved to London for the first time, I was terrified to speak. I thought people wouldn't understand my accent.
Oh, that's a big worry for many learners.
Yes. But one day I forced myself to ask for directions. The person smiled and helped me, and I thought, wow, they understood me. That little moment gave me so much confidence.
Exactly. Sometimes confidence starts with one positive experience.
Yes, one successful moment can change everything.
And that's why we always tell our listeners, don't wait. Speak now, even if it's imperfect.
Exactly, because confidence doesn't grow in silence, it grows in action.
Beautifully said.
So if we could summarize today's main message, it's this. Speak, make mistakes, learn, and keep going.
Yes, don't chase perfection, chase connection.
Oh, that's a good one. Don't chase perfection, chase connection.
We're full of quotes today.
We are.
But honestly, that's what it's all about. Confidence in English isn't about being the best. It's about being brave enough to be yourself.
Exactly. Be brave, be curious, and keep speaking.
Well said. And to everyone listening, if you're nervous about speaking English, remember this. We all start somewhere. Every confident speaker you admire was once a shy beginner.
That's right. So go out there, talk, laugh, make mistakes, and learn.
And enjoy the journey. Confidence will come.
Beautiful. Well, that's all for today's episode of Smile and Talk.
Thank you for joining us. We hope you feel inspired to speak English confidently today.
Yes, you know you can do it.
See you next time, everyone.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Smile and Talk. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maria.
Today's episode is a big one, and it's something every English learner asks us about. How can I speak English naturally? But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Yes, this is one of the most common questions we get. Learners say, I know grammar, I know vocabulary, but when I speak, I sound robotic or unnatural.
Exactly. They want to sound like they're actually part of a conversation, not like they're reading from a textbook.
Right. So in this episode, we're going to help you speak English the way real people do, with confidence, rhythm, and flow.
And don't worry, we're not going to lecture or list vocabulary. We'll just have a real conversation, and you'll learn naturally by listening and absorbing.
So let's start with the big question. Why do native speakers sound so natural while learners often sound a bit stiff?
Good question. I think it's because native speakers focus more on connection than perfection.
Yes,
Learners often focus on grammar rules and correctness, while natives focus on communicating ideas smoothly.
Exactly. When we speak naturally, we don't worry about using complex sentences. We use simple, connected speech, contractions, pauses, and sometimes even fillers like, I mean, or well.
And those little things make a huge difference. They make your English sound alive.
Totally. Think about it. When you speak your native language, you don't think of grammar, you think of meaning. That's what natural English is all about.
Yes, it's about thinking in English and letting your ideas flow without translating.
Let's dive deeper into that thinking in English.
Yes, because if you're constantly translating from your first language, your speech will always sound delayed or unnatural.
Exactly. It's like trying to drive while looking in the rearview mirror. You'll be slower and nervous.
So, how do you start thinking in English?
Well, one simple way is to describe your day in English. For example, when you wake up, say to yourself, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making breakfast. I'm checking my phone.
Yes, those small moments train your brain to connect thoughts directly to English words.
Right. It's not about memorizing sentences. It's about creating automatic habits.
Exactly. Over time, your brain starts to skip the translation step and go straight to English.
Another really effective method to speak naturally is imitation.
Oh, yes, shadowing.
Right. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and trying to repeat exactly how they say it. The tone, the rhythm, even the emotion.
Yes, not just the words, but the music of the language.
Exactly. English has rhythm. Some words are strong, others are weak. That's what makes natural English sound smooth. And when you shadow real conversations like podcasts, movies, or interviews, you start to feel how English flows.
Yes, and you also learn things that textbooks don't teach, like how we actually link words in speech.
Like instead of saying, "What are you doing?" we say, "What you doing?"
Exactly. That's what we mean by natural English.
I think this is one of the biggest lessons for learners. Stop chasing perfect grammar and start focusing on connection.
Yes, because communication isn't about sounding like a dictionary. It's about making someone understand you and enjoying the conversation.
Exactly. When you speak to someone in English, they don't care if you miss an article or misplace a tense. They care about the energy and clarity you bring.
Yes, I've met so many learners who spoke with small grammar mistakes, but they sounded confident, friendly, and natural, and everyone loved talking to them.
That's true. Natural English is about flow and emotion, not about technical perfection.
Let's talk about expressions. Native speakers use a lot of everyday phrases that make their English sound natural.
Right. Things like, you know what I mean? Or, that's crazy. Or, I guess so.
Exactly. Those expressions show emotion and reaction. Without them, conversations can sound robotic.
And you know what's interesting? You don't need to learn 1,000 of them. Just a few go a long way.
Yes, and you'll pick them up naturally by listening. For example, watch English YouTubers or shows. Notice how they respond in casual talk.
Yeah. Pay attention to how they say things, not just what they say.
Exactly.
Here's something people forget. Speaking naturally isn't just about words. It's also about body language and tone.
Yes, when you speak English, use your hands, your face, your eyes, show energy.
Exactly. Natural speech has personality. If you say everything in a flat tone, you sound nervous or unsure. But when you use your voice to express emotion, excitement, surprise, curiosity, your English instantly sounds more real.
That's such a good point. Natural speakers don't speak like robots. They use intonation. Their voice goes up and down.
Exactly. Like when you say really or no way or that's amazing. Your tone brings the words to life. Exactly. So even if your grammar isn't perfect, your energy makes you sound fluent.
Now, let's make it practical. If you want to sound natural, practice English in real-life situations.
Yes, not just studying in your room, but actually using English.
Talk to friends online, comment on English videos, order in English if you travel, or even talk to yourself about your day.
Exactly. Because speaking English isn't a school subject, it's a life skill.
Yes, you can't become natural by reading about English. You become natural by living in English.
That's true. Even simple things like texting or writing short thoughts in English every day help your brain think faster in the language.
Let's talk about something real. The fear of sounding awkward.
Oh, yes. Many learners say, I feel weird speaking English.
Yes, they think they sound unnatural because of their accent or their mistakes, but honestly, everyone sounds different, and that's beautiful.
Yes, accent is not a problem. It's a part of your identity.
Exactly. You can sound natural with your accent as long as your speech is clear and confident.
Yes, being natural isn't about imitating Americans or British people. It's about being yourself in English.
Beautifully said.
Let's give our listeners some daily habits to sound more natural.
Okay, habit number 1. Listen to English every day, not just study it.
Yes, podcasts, movies, YouTube, music, anything. Let English become part of your life.
Habit 2. Speak out loud every day, even if it's just talking to yourself for 5 minutes.
Habit 3, record yourself. Listen and notice how natural or unnatural you sound and adjust slowly.
Habit 4. Copy the rhythm of native speakers. Notice where they pause or stress words.
Yes, that's a huge one. Natural speech is all about rhythm.
And habit 5, relax. Don't overthink every word. The more relaxed you are, the more natural you sound.
Yes, English should flow, not be forced.
Maybe we can show what natural English sounds like with a short example.
Okay, let's pretend we're just chatting in a cafe.
Okay,
So, Maria, how's your week been?
pretty good. Busy, but good. I've been working on some new projects. What about you?
Same here. I've been trying to wake up earlier, but it's not going so well.
Oh, I know that struggle. You set an alarm and then you hit snooze 5 times?
Exactly. And then you pretend that 5 extra minutes will somehow make you less tired.
Yes, and then you rush everything breakfast, clothes, everything.
Exactly. See, this is what natural English sounds like. It's spontaneous, full of small reactions, and relaxed.
Yes, no perfect grammar, just connection.
Sometimes learners say, I want to speak naturally, but I get stuck mid-sentence.
Yes, that's normal. It happens even to native speakers.
Exactly. The secret is don't freeze. Use small fillers like, let me think. How can I say this? You know?
Yes, those little phrases keep the conversation alive while you find your words.
Exactly. And they sound very natural.
So don't worry about silence. Use pauses and fillers as tools, not mistakes.
All right, we're getting close to the end. Let's leave our listeners with a final message.
Okay, mine is this. Natural English isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about connecting, expressing, and enjoying communication.
That's beautiful. And my message is speak English like you, not like a textbook. Don't hide behind grammar. Let your personality shine through your words.
Yes, because English isn't a test. It's a tool for friendship, work, travel, and life.
Exactly. So keep listening, keep speaking, and keep growing.
And remember, every word you speak brings you closer to fluency.
Beautifully said.
Thank you for joining us today, everyone.
We hope this episode helps you relax, speak more freely, and sound more natural.
Yes, and don't forget, your voice matters no matter what level you're at.
All right, see you next time on Smile and Talk.
Bye, everyone, and speak English naturally.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Smile and Talk. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maria. Thanks for joining us again. Today's topic is something every English learner struggles with at some point. Stop translating, start speaking in English. But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Oh yes, that's a big one. I think this episode is going to help a lot of people who feel stuck between thinking in their native language and actually speaking English naturally.
Exactly. So many learners say, I can read English, I can understand it, but when I try to speak, my brain freezes.
Right. And that's usually because they're translating in their head first, word by word, before they speak.
Yes, and that translation step slows everything down. It makes you nervous, it breaks your confidence, and it kills your fluency.
Totally. So today we're going to talk about why translating doesn't work and what to do instead.
Let's start with this. Why do people translate when they speak English?
Well, I think it's natural at first. When you learn a new language, your brain tries to connect it to something it already knows, your native language.
Exactly. It's like building a bridge between two languages.
Right. But the problem is that bridge becomes a traffic jam. You spend so much time crossing it that you forget where you were going.
That's such a great metaphor.
Thanks. And also, languages don't match perfectly. You can't always find a word-for-word translation.
Yes, grammar, word order, even expressions, they're all different.
Exactly. For example, in English, we say, I'm cold, but in some languages, people say, it's cold to me. If you translate that literally, it sounds strange in English.
Totally. That's why thinking in your native language first makes speaking sound unnatural.
Right. So the goal is not to stop using your first language completely, but to start training your brain to think directly in English.
Yes, that's the key. Training your brain to switch modes. So let's talk about why translation actually slows people down.
Sure. First, it takes time. When you're translating, your brain has to do 3 steps. Understand in your language, translate it into English, then speak it. That's exhausting.
Exactly. It's like having to pass every word through a filter before it comes out.
Right. And that's why people say, I know what to say, but I can't say it fast enough.
Yes, that's one of the most common frustrations I hear from my students.
The second problem is accuracy. When you translate directly, the meaning often changes.
True. Sometimes what sounds polite or normal in your language can sound rude or confusing in English.
Yes, and vice versa. So, translation not only slows you down, it can also lead to mistakes.
And the third problem is confidence.
Oh, absolutely.
When you translate, you get stuck in your head. You're constantly checking. Is this correct? Does this sound right?
Yes, and that creates anxiety. You become self-conscious instead of just talking naturally.
Exactly. And the more nervous you feel, the more your brain freezes. It's like a vicious circle.
Totally. That's why the solution is to stop translating and start thinking in English instead.
Let's explain what thinking in English actually means, because it can sound a bit abstract.
Yeah, good point. Thinking in English doesn't mean you suddenly wake up one day and your brain magically switches languages.
I wish it worked like that.
Same. But really, it means processing information directly in English, using English words, phrases, and mental pictures instead of translating them from your native language.
Yes. For example, instead of thinking, how do I say I'm hungry in English, you just think the feeling of being hungry and the English phrase pops up naturally.
Exactly. You start associating English with meaning, not translation.
Right. It's like how a child learns their first language. They don't translate, they connect words with experiences.
Yes, when a child hears apple, they think of the fruit, not the translation in another language.
That's the secret to fluency, connecting English words to ideas, emotions, and actions, not to your first language.
So now the big question, how can someone stop translating?
Great question. Step 1, start small.
Absolutely.
Choose a few daily activities and describe them in English, out loud or in your mind. Like, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm making coffee. The sky is blue.
Yes, that's a great start. It trains your brain to use English for everyday thinking.
Exactly. And because these are simple, familiar activities, you don't need to translate.
Step 2 is to immerse yourself in English.
Yes, the more you hear English, the easier it becomes to think in it.
Watch movies, listen to podcasts, read short stories. But here's the trick. Don't translate while you do it.
Exactly. Just try to understand the main idea. You don't need to understand every word.
That's key. Focus on meaning, not on individual words.
Step 3 is to speak more, even if you make mistakes.
100%. Speaking helps your brain form new connections.
Yes, and when you speak, don't pause to think about grammar. Just focus on communicating.
That's huge. Fluency grows from using the language, not from analyzing it.
I think perfectionism is another big reason people translate.
Oh, definitely. They're afraid to make mistakes.
Yes, so they try to create perfect sentences in their native language first, then translate them.
Exactly. But real conversation doesn't work like that.
Right, in real life, people don't speak perfectly either.
Exactly. We all hesitate, repeat ourselves, even use the wrong words sometimes. And that's okay.
Yes, the goal is communication, not perfection.
When you let go of perfection, your confidence grows. And when you're confident, you start thinking more naturally in English.
That's so true. Perfection is the enemy of progress.
Absolutely. It's better to speak imperfectly but naturally than to stay silent because you're afraid of mistakes.
Let's talk about practical ways to immerse yourself in English every day.
Sure. One thing I always recommend is changing your phone's language to English.
Oh, yes, that's a great one.
It forces you to see English words in daily life, on your apps, your settings, your notifications.
Right, it's a small change, but it builds daily exposure.
You can also label things around your house, like door, mirror, refrigerator.
Exactly. That helps your brain connect English words directly to objects, not translations.
And when you do chores, like cooking, cleaning, or walking, try narrating what you're doing in English.
Yes, that's one of my favorite exercises. It keeps your brain active in English all day long.
The more English becomes part of your environment, the less you'll rely on translation.
Yes. Listening is another important skill where people often translate.
Definitely. When they hear English, they try to translate every word in their head before understanding.
And that's why they miss the next sentence.
Exactly. The trick is to listen for the meaning, not the words.
Yes, focus on tone, emotion, and context.
For example, if someone says, "Hey, how's it going?" you don't need to translate it literally. You just know they're greeting you.
Exactly. You understand the intention, not just the words.
So practice listening without stopping. Even if you don't understand everything, keep going.
That's so important. Your brain needs time to get used to the rhythm and flow of English. Let's talk about confidence because it plays a big role in thinking in English.
Absolutely. When you trust yourself to speak, you stop overthinking.
Yes. Confidence doesn't come from knowing every grammar rule, it comes from using English in real situations.
Exactly. The more you speak, the more your brain learns to respond automatically.
Right. I always tell my students, don't wait until you feel ready. Start now and confidence will come later.
I love that. Action builds confidence, not the other way around.
Exactly. Every time you speak English, even if it's imperfect, you're training your brain to think faster.
Yes, it's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
Let's give our listeners some practical exercises to think in English daily.
Sure, here's one. Describe what you see. Look around your room and name everything in English.
Good one. You can also describe what people are doing, like she's walking, he's drinking coffee.
Yes, it builds automatic sentence patterns.
Another exercise, talk to yourself in English.
I do that sometimes.
Me too. It's a great way to practice without pressure.
Totally. You can practice conversations you might have, ordering food, asking for directions, small talk.
Exactly. The key is consistency. Even 5 minutes a day helps your brain think more in English.
Right. Small daily habits add up over time.
Let's share some stories. Have you ever worked with a student who stopped translating and made big progress?
Oh, absolutely. I remember one student from Japan. She used to translate every single sentence before speaking. She was always nervous.
I can imagine.
So I told her to stop using her dictionary during conversations. At first, she struggled, but after a few weeks, she started using simple English to explain what she meant.
That's great.
And guess what? Her fluency improved dramatically. Not because her grammar was perfect, but because she was finally thinking in English.
That's so inspiring.
What about you?
I had a student from Brazil who used to translate every phrase. One day I challenged her to describe her morning entirely in English, no translation allowed.
Nice.
She said it was hard at first, but after 2 weeks, she noticed her brain started switching automatically. She stopped thinking in Portuguese during conversations.
That's amazing. Proof that practice really works.
Exactly. The brain adapts when you train it consistently.
I think another part of this journey is learning to enjoy English, not stress about it.
Yes. When you enjoy the language, you learn faster.
Exactly. Watch shows you love, listen to songs you like, not just textbooks.
Right. Make English part of your lifestyle, not just a subject.
When you have fun, you stop translating because you're focused on the experience, not the words.
That's true. Enjoyment builds natural thinking. So, Mark, if you had to give one piece of advice to someone who wants to stop translating, what would it be?
I'd say trust your instincts. Don't be afraid of mistakes. Speak even when you're unsure. The more you trust yourself, the less you'll translate.
That's beautiful.
What about you?
I'd say make English part of your world. Think, dream, laugh, and live in English a little every day.
That's perfect.
Because when English becomes part of your daily life, translation just fades away.
Exactly. You stop studying English and start living it.
That's perfect.
So, everyone listening, remember, stop translating, start speaking. Don't wait for perfection. Just express yourself.
Yes, you'll make mistakes, but you'll also make progress.
Absolutely. And one day you'll realize you're thinking in English without even trying.
That's when you know you've made it.
Beautifully said.
Thanks, Mark.
And thank you, Maria.
And thanks to all our listeners for spending time with us today.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
See you next time on Smile and Talk.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Smile and Talk, the podcast where we help you speak English more confidently and naturally. I'm Mark.
And I'm Maria. Today's episode is all about something that so many learners struggle with: how to speak English without thinking. But before we start, please help subscribe our channel. It helps us so much.
Exactly. This is one of the most requested topics we've had. You know that feeling when you want to say something, but your brain freezes because you're translating every single word?
Yes, you start thinking, wait, how do I say this in English? And by the time you figure it out, the conversation has already moved on.
Right. So today, we're going to break that cycle and talk about how to let English flow naturally without overthinking every sentence.
Let's start with this question. Why do people think too much when they speak English?
I think it's fear, honestly. Fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding stupid, fear of being judged.
Totally. And it's also habit. People are used to learning English through grammar rules and textbooks. So their brain tries to calculate every sentence like an equation.
Exactly. Like subject plus verb plus object equals correct English. But in real life, you don't have time for equations. Conversations move fast.
And that's where confidence comes in. You have to trust yourself enough to speak, even if it's not perfect.
Yes, because fluency doesn't mean perfection, it means flow.
So, one of the best ways to stop overthinking is to start thinking in English, right?
Absolutely. It sounds simple, but it's powerful.
Instead of translating from your native language, you begin to associate words directly with meaning.
For example, when you see a dog, you don't think of the word in your language, you just think dog.
Exactly. You can train your brain for this by surrounding yourself with English, watching movies, listening to podcasts, journaling your thoughts, all in English.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can describe your day in your head, like, I'm making coffee, I'm walking to work, I feel sleepy.
Yes, talk to yourself, silently or out loud. You'll start forming sentences faster and more naturally.
Another big point, mistakes. We need to stop being afraid of them.
Totally agree. Mistakes are not proof that you're bad at English, they're proof that you're learning.
Exactly. Think about how babies learn their first language. They make tons of mistakes, but they don't care. They just keep talking.
That's a great comparison. When you focus too much on being correct, you block your flow. But when you focus on communicating, your English improves faster.
So true. I always tell my students, it's better to speak imperfect English confidently than perfect English silently.
That's a powerful quote.
Here's something interesting. Many learners know a lot of English words, but they freeze in real conversations.
Yes, because real English is messy. People interrupt, use slang, or change topics quickly. It's not like a classroom.
Exactly. So the key is to expose yourself to real English, not just reading grammar books.
Watch interviews, listen to English podcasts, or even chat online. The more you hear natural speech, the easier it becomes to respond without overthinking.
It's like training your ear and your brain to react faster.
Right. It's all about automaticity. When your brain produces English automatically without you forcing it.
One trick that really helps is imitation, shadowing native speakers.
Yes, you listen to a short clip, then repeat it exactly, copying the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation.
It's not about memorizing words, it's about feeling the flow.
And it helps you sound more natural. Plus, it trains your mouth and your brain to work together.
It's like singing along to a song. You don't think about grammar, you just feel the rhythm.
Exactly. When you do that often, speaking without thinking becomes natural.
Let's talk about perfectionism.
Ah, yes, the enemy of fluency.
People think they can't speak until their grammar is perfect or their accent is perfect. But that's not true.
Not at all. The truth is, even native speakers make mistakes.
Yes, they say gonna instead of going to, or I ain't got instead of I don't have.
Exactly. Communication is what matters. You're not writing an essay, you're having a conversation.
That's so freeing when you accept it. You can relax and focus on connection, not correctness.
Confidence is emotional. It's not just about knowing words, it's about how you feel when you speak.
Yes, you can know thousands of words, but if you're nervous, they disappear when you need them.
So true. When you calm down, smile, and enjoy the conversation, your brain unlocks everything you already know.
Exactly. I always tell my students, confidence first, accuracy later.
And the more you speak, the easier it becomes. Confidence grows with action, not waiting.
Let's share some daily habits to help people speak without thinking.
Good idea. First, speak every day, even if it's to yourself. Describe your day, your thoughts, or what you're doing.
Yes. Second, listen to English daily. Podcasts, YouTube videos, or even short clips on social media.
Third, don't just listen. Shadow what you hear. Repeat sentences immediately after native speakers.
Fourth, record yourself. Listen back and notice how you sound. You'll see improvement faster than you think.
And fifth, find a speaking buddy. Practice real conversations. That's where fluency really grows.
Let's make this real. Mark, tell us about a time when you struggled to speak another language.
Oh, absolutely. When I first started learning Spanish, I was terrified. I kept translating in my head. Conversations felt like math problems.
Yes, I've been there too.
Then one day, I just stopped caring. I just started talking, mistakes and all. And suddenly, it clicked. The words came out faster, the fear disappeared.
That's exactly how it happens. You let go of control and fluency finds you.
It's like swimming. If you keep worrying about how to move your arms, you sink. But when you relax, you float.
Beautiful metaphor. A lot of people say, I can speak English alone, but when I'm in front of others, I forget everything.
Oh, yes, that's a big one. Speaking in public feels scary because we focus on ourselves, not on the message.
Exactly. Try focusing on the person you're talking to, not how you sound.
Yes, think, what do I want to share instead of how do I look or sound?
Once you shift your focus, the pressure fades away.
And remember, most people aren't judging you. They're impressed you can speak another language.
Learning English shouldn't feel like a job. It should be fun.
Exactly. Watch shows you love, talk about things you enjoy. Passion makes learning effortless.
Yes, when you love the process, you naturally speak more and think less.
And that's the real secret. Consistency, not perfection.
So, to recap, stop translating, start thinking in English.
Make mistakes proudly. Listen and shadow. Speak every day.
Focus on connection, not perfection.
And trust yourself. Your brain knows more English than you think.
Exactly. The more you practice, the less you'll think, and the more natural you'll sound.
So that's it for today's episode. Speak English without thinking.
We hope this conversation helps you relax, speak freely, and enjoy your English journey.
Remember, don't wait for perfect English. Speak now, learn as you go.
You got this. Thanks for listening, everyone.
See you next time.